we just need to learn to love also our money problems. And by loving them, something strange happens. It's like divinity erase part of, or sometimes all the information inside.
The data.
The data. And then inspiration comes through. So by loving your problems, you would think, oh, wait a minute, this guy is just sitting there to love his problems. Well, by loving, something strange happens. It's like some information inside yourself is going to be erased, and then you get space and inspiration, divinity can come through you. I often call it the voice of your heart. And then you get information about, whatever. Something I cannot think of in my mind, but you will get just the right information. And my whole book is about that. I dream that people start to knock on their heart more in whatever they do. Also, when you're a CEO of a business, or when you're a receptionist, or a manager, or a consultant, a butcher, or whatever, a photographer, that we start to stop to separate that world of spirituality and finance. Because I see in the spiritual world, I love these people, by the way, but so much, we want to be one with God. But as soon as we start to talk about work, or start a business, or start to work with 1 million, I know even people who say, I don't want to touch the money. It's sort of,
it's dirty.
It's a bit dirty, and I want to stay in connection with God. But if the spirituality, if we would use that in our businesses, just imagine if I just met a CEO of a nice bank. And he had a presentation for a lot of his people, and he said, please, why don't you are just yourself in this business? Be yourself. Listen to your heart. Don't listen to all the sometimes stupid protocols and rules and regulations, but be yourself. Well, that's where I get so happy. If business people start to put the spiritual knowledge of love just in practice. Not just on Sunday, not just behind the herbal tea, not just during a yoga session. No, Monday morning, 9 o'clock, in the government, in business. How can we really create a society of love? A society what is from the heart.
So Ivo, what is the solution?
A solution that we become human again, that we start to become ourselves again, that we have the guts to be ourselves. It's so important now that I know so many spiritual people, but as soon as it is Monday morning, 9 o'clock, all this beautiful spiritual wisdom about love and who are we, infinite divinity, we seem to forget, and we sit behind our desk and we forget it. And it's so important that we stand up again in love, that we dare to be ourselves on the working floor. The first step is, maybe it's only the first step, but it's authenticity. I really feel if everybody just is himself or herself, if businesses are herself or himself, itself, that is a really first important step. And I see in many businesses that 70-80% of the people have not the courage to be themselves. It can happen that they are not themselves, they are afraid of anything. It can be their boss, it can be their wife, or whatever. So people need to be themselves first. That is a really important step.
So how do we connect with our true self, with our authenticity? How do we do that?
To be yourself is basically to be yourself. To fall in love with yourself, to get to know what is it what I really feel, what is it what I think, what is it what I talk, what is what I do. And often it's not on the same line. So what I do is something different than what I feel or what I speak. And how to be yourself is to get it on one line. Just feel yourself and check, is it really what I think, what I feel, what I do? Is that one in harmony? That's a really first step. And if you are yourself, if you are authentic, for me it's the beginning. Then step 2 for me is invite the spirit. And some people call it your higher self, some people call it God, some people I call it nature, sometimes I call it the voice of your heart. But then if you start to invite spirit, you don't do it yourself anymore. If you're authentic, you could say, okay, I'm Ivo Valkenburg and I have a home, wife, blah blah blah, this is Ivo. It's very important to start like that. But the second step is that Ivo start to say, okay, but what do you want? And you, well, can be God, can be the voice of your heart, your higher self, but don't do it alone anymore. We are spiritual beings. We get so much inspiration from the heart. And to be honest, I feel the only way to get through the jungle of financial problems, of relational problems, of business problems, is not to do it ourselves, but to ask our guide. And our guide doesn't have to be, with all respect, doesn't have to be a guru anymore. I really believe now we have all direct connection to our intuition, to our inspiration, to the intelligence of divinity. But that you need to ask. You just need to knock on your heart. You need to ask and realize you are not alone.
So the heart is really the place where we can experience our spirit.
For me it is. For me it is, yeah. The heart is for me the place where all the inspiration can come from to guide you in this world. And I see it as very practical. Shall I make this appointment? Yes or no? Shall I write this book? Yes or no? What do you want me to do?
You check it here with your heart.
I always check it. I don't always do it. Often I say, I'm not going to do it. Sometimes I hear I need to do it. I don't like it. That's ego. It's my authentic ego. Doesn't like it. It's my ego.
So if you look from your heart, every problem or every challenge you have to deal with is a different challenge than if you would perceive it from your head.
Yeah, I feel if I follow my mind, my intellect, then I keep going like this. So all the problems in my life, I keep seeing them back.
You're in a mind loop.
All the time. Yeah. All the time I meet these people, or I'm in this relationship I don't like, or always meet that woman or type of man that I don't like, or always I have no money, or I have always money but I'm always afraid I lose it, or I keep like that. And like Einstein put it so beautiful that we should not solve our problems in the same way as we created them. Well, that's why I feel we need to find a new way, a higher level. And that higher level is the voice of the heart. And I often call it also higher self or God or divinity. And we have to ask it. We have to ask it.
So when do you know when it's the voice of your heart speaking? When do you know it? Can you
you want to be
feeling?
really, you want me to, yeah, I can give you a beautiful feeling now, but maybe I'm not going to give you the answer you like. I not always know. I not always know when it is divinity or whether it's myself. Sometimes I can be in perfect flow, but can be also very authentic, very much Evo. Evo loves to do this. And then I'm not always sure, is it really Evo loving or is it God wanting me to do this? So to keep sure that I always keep asking, do you want me to do this? Yes or no? But to be honest, so I have moments that I really feel, I feel then I love the complete situation. I would say that is God. If I look at Edwin, my son, some moments, and I can feel, I can see just love. Just love. Whenever we experience just love, I would say, then we are close to inspiration. But to be honest, I find it so difficult. We don't know what is good or bad often, I feel. We don't know whether it's God or not. So the best way is to keep loving all the situation and keep asking and keep going.
If you keep loving, you keep cleaning. I know you're a big fan of the Ho'oponopono.
I love the Ho'oponopono process, which...
Could you tell us something about it for people who never heard of it?
Yeah.
What is the...
It's a problem-solving method from Hawaii, and it is updated actually to today's time. And one of the people who is really spreading the word about Ho'oponopono right now is Ihariakala, Yulen. And I interviewed him for my book, and he really opened my eyes and said, Ivo, whatever you see outside yourself, it doesn't really exist. It is all information inside yourself. By the way, this guy is not alone. Like Gary Renard, a very well-known spiritual teacher in America, he's a teacher in the Course of Miracles. Exact the same, how he said, all what we see outside is a projection of information inside ourselves.